O Lord, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be pleasing and acceptable to you. Speak your word of love and grace to us so we can live this life with faith, humbly and joyfully and faithfully with you and with one another. Amen. In 2017, there was a documentary series by National Geographic, The Story of Us, with Morgan Freeman. Have any of you had a chance to watch that? It had like 6 episodes, I think, and one of them, they asked the people in 20 different countries this question. What do you believe that can't be proven? The answers were varied, as you can imagine, and here are a few of the responses. Love, the existence of God, the collective consciousness, the disappearance of stupidity, luck, ghost, aliens, intuition, UFOs. Oh, and this little girl said, unicorns. The bonds between people and the belief that the world will be a better place if people are more tolerant. Good answers. There were also other people who said, I am not a superstitious person. I don't believe in anything. Or, I believe in myself. One lady said that she has an engineering background, a very scientific person. And her answer was definitely no, to believing in things that can't be proven. If the same question was asked to you, what would be your answer? What are your most deeply held beliefs, and how have you come to hold those convictions? Are they something that you love from your parents, or your school teachers, or from church? How do they affect who you are and how you live? In his book, Creed, Adam Hamilton says that our most important beliefs affect our understanding of what it means to be human and our convictions about values, morality, and relationships. Just as one of those interviewers who said she cannot believe in things that can't be proven in the documentary, I was a very certain person, certain about what we believed when I was younger, in 20s and 30s. It didn't matter if I could verify scientific evidence or not, whether it was a religious conviction or on the matters about things on life. What I believed was right or should be right. I could not compromise. As Christian believers, we have these unique expressions which summarize our beliefs indeed. The most familiar ones are the Nicene Creed, or what you know, more popular, the Apostles' Creed. I grew up with the letter in my home church as a teenager. We recite the Creed every Sunday during the worship along with the Lord's Prayer. You have that experience too, right? We used to do that all the time. And in South Korea, everybody bring their own Bible and hymnal. And in the Bible cover inside the front and the cover inside the Bible, there is a Lord's Prayer and the Apostles' Creed, as if they are the most important thing next to the scriptures. So from the elementary kids, little ones, to the adults, everyone memorized them, and we recite every Sunday worship. The formation of creeds in the church dates back to the late 2nd or early 3rd centuries when the church kept expanding. Although they believed in the same God, their understanding of who Jesus was or his relationship to God and the Holy Spirit, they were not always in agreement. There were also false teachers who were considered heretics. They need to protect these growing Christian communities and nurture the new converts. before it became a snowball out of control. The early Christians needed a language of their essential beliefs which would provide a common foundation. So through a number of council meetings and the tireless efforts of the theologians in the early church, the creeds we know as of today were crafted and handed over centuries. Of course, there were some political power games, disputes, and even schisms later because of the doctrines people disagreed with. There are more than 40,000 Christian denominations these days, yet the creedal languages still help us examine our faith and our Christian practices. The dictionary definition of creed is a statement of the basic beliefs of a religion, an idea or set of beliefs that guides the actions of a person or group. Why do these old kind of expression, these creeds, matter even this day? Because they guide our actions, our choices of how we will act and live, not only individually, but communally. And I know sometimes you ask me why we are not, say, the traditional, the actually old traditional, the creed in worship. I've been using more modern language versions most of times, but it's worthwhile we go to the old one and how the meaning has been changed and what does it mean to us, refresh our minds. So for the next several weeks, we will take a look at the Apostles' Creed and reflect on what we believe and why. It will probably be a good exercise of writing your own credo, which means in the Latin words, I believe, and following each worship, series each week. If you ask me my understanding and my belief, for me, there are things that I have come to believe more for me, and also things that I have more questioned and have struggled, or have a different understanding of than what I used to believe. I never had a second thought or argument on the first statement of the creed when I was baptized as a teenager. Anybody remember what's the first statement, first section in the creed? I believe in... Yes, I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator or maker of the heaven and earth. Has my understanding changed over the last almost 30 years? The Bible was written and edited by, most likely, not women, but men, more patriarchal cultures. Although Jesus called God Father in the Bible, there are other images and descriptions of God more like a mother as well. If you remember, Jesus is lamenting over Jerusalem in Matthew, like chapter 26 or 27. Yeah, I try to hold you like the mother hen holding, gathering the babies, or like a Hosea or Isaiah prophets. We can see the image of God more like feminine, like a mother. We perceive God in a more personal way as an entity of being. Yet some people, both believers and non-believers, think of God more of force, power, like energy. Indeed, we all know God is more than a male or female. I experience God like a faithful, very trustworthy, righteous yet merciful Father. And I still call throughout the day, "Oh my Lord," or "Oh my Father." That's my short form of prayer. And I experience God as a caring, compassionate, always birthing something new, restoring and reconciling mother. Or some of you learn this love, godly love, divine love, through your grandparents. And the word Almighty has a different meaning for me as well. I have struggled with this image of God, all powerful and mighty, like the best warrior in the world, or like the emperor. If God is almighty, why does God not heal everyone who suffers? Why not just to let things happen? I know we have more responsibility as human beings, but why? Why do we not see more miracles than the miseries, sufferings of people? What does it mean that God is almighty? I believe in God who is almighty in unconditional love and grace. I believe in God who is almighty in creating something beautiful out of brokenness and chaos, and keep recreating, making all things new. However, this almightiness of God is not synonym of powerful to me. Rather, loving God can be very vulnerable and shown as weak to the world. God's resurrection power only came through the cross. By Jesus' humble obedience, submission unto the death on the cross, which was the symbol of shame and powerlessness in the world. For me to confess God as the creator of heaven and earth and all things in it does not mean that I am against science or asserting that the universe was created less than 10,000 years ago. I believe in both Big Bang Theory and also Creator, my God. Can I? Although I do not fully understand the delicate schemes of how the galaxies were formed or moving, I know one thing, that I am a very small part of this vast universe, the mystery of life. And this awareness of my smallness makes me humble, makes me amazed all the time. Every morning, it's a new day. It's a resurrection day, gift from God. We are like a particle, yet our this insignificant small beings matter to God greatly. We are created out of love. We are created with purpose and worth. We are created in intimate relationship with God, Creator, and with each other, and with all the creatures, the whole creation. We are not to kill each other, yet care for one another. This is what Hamilton says. We are to bear one another's burdens and to work for justice while demonstrating mercy. Why? Because our fellow human beings matter to God as we do. We are not expendable cogs in an evolutionary machine. We are people. We are children of God. When we humbly confess God as the creator of all things, we not only praise God in gratitude and joy, but also choose actions that will manifest God's divine love for the whole creation in which God's loving spirit dwells. So on this summer day of green splendor, it's hot. Who do you confess your God is? And how does that make a difference in your daily living?